זוכנו לחיים מלך חפץ בחיים.
I vividly remember my first year in yeshiva when I realized how different the davening, the mood of the davening, and just the general atmosphere of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur was to what I was used to growing up. Personally, growing up, we didn't dance around for 5 minutes to V'yitnu Lecha Keter Melucha in my shul. And I remember that experience I had Shana Aleph when I realized how drastically different the two experiences were. And it forced me to kind of look at the machzor, look at the text that we say, look at the liturgy, understand the tefillah better, and really to understand the essence of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur in a deeper way. And I'm sure many of you had similar experiences. And I remember that as I looked at the machzor, I realized that the tefillah we say certainly on Rosh Hashanah and even on Yom Kippur doesn't really focus on chet so much. It doesn't get caught up in the pratim, the details of our specific lives and what we did wrong or how we could improve, and had a much broader perspective, not the pratim, had a much broader perspective on how we want to connect more to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and how we want to see God's presence in this world more, and on ideas like V'yitnu Lecha Keter Melucha. And the question is, why is that? Why is that the case? Why is the mood of Rosh Hashanah and the theme of the machzor focused on a more broader perspective and not the nitty-gritty pratim of chet and mitzvos? I think the answer could be found in a famous Gemara that we're all familiar with about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And the Gemara describes Shlosha Svarim Niftachim v'Rosh Hashanah. 3 books are opened on Rosh Hashanah. There's the book of the Tzadikim, the book of the Rishaim, and the book of the Beinonim. And the Gemara continues and it describes the process of din, how those who have more mitzvos than averos, on Rosh Hashanah, they're inscribed in the book of life. And unfortunately, those who have more averot than mitzvos, on Rosh Hashanah, they're inscribed in the book of death. And the Gemara continues, and it discusses the fate of the Beinonim, those who are 50-50, those who have exactly the same amount of mitzvos as averos. So what's going to be the din? Which book should they be inscribed in? And the Gemara says, Beinonim tluyim ve'omdim mi Rosh Hashanah ad Yom Kippurim, that the Beinonim, they are held, they're waiting, their judgment can't be decided, their verdict is only going to come on Yom Kippur. So what should the Beinonim do? During this time period we're in right now, the Aseret Simei Tshuva, how could they receive a favorable judgment? So let's think about it. If they have the exact same amount of mitzvos as averos, and the scale is exactly even, so what should they be doing right now? They should be doing as many mitzvos as possible. Tip the scale. More mitzvos, give more tzedakah, make more brachos, daven more, go do more chesed, visit the sick, visit the old. Just try to chap as many mitzvos as you can in these Aseret Simei Tshuva, so that when you come to the judgment on Yom Kippur, you'll have more mitzvos and you'll receive a favorable judgment. But Rav Hutner points out that if you look in the Rambam, he prescribes a little bit of a different remedy for the Beinonim, a little bit of a different plan for the Beinonim during the Aseret Simei Tshuva. And the Rambam, who we know is medayik with his words, says that you know what the Beinonim should do during the Aseret Simei Tshuva? They have to engage in tshuva. And Rav Hutner is bothered by this. Why does the Rambam say they have to do tshuva? We just explained logically they could do any mitzvah. Tshuva is certainly one mitzvah. It's a wonderful mitzvah. It's certainly a great mitzvah for this time of the year. But it's not the only mitzvah that could tip the scale. Really, any mitzvah can tip the scale. So why does the Rambam point out tshuva and specify that they have to do tshuva? With this question, Rav Hutner totally redefines our understanding of tzadikim, rishaim, and beinonim. And Rav Hutner says we had it all wrong. It's not about a quantitative judgment. More mitzvos, more averos. The tzaddik has more mitzvos than averos. The rasha has more averos than mitzvos. It's not about quantity. Rather, really the difference between a tzaddik, a rasha, and a benoni is qualitative. A tzaddik is someone who's striving for kedusha, striving to connect, striving for more, striving to do more mitzvos. Qualitatively, he's in a certain state where he's on the up. And a rasha, unfortunately, is the opposite. He's not really striving to do mitzvos. And what about the benoni? The benoni, it's not that he has the exact same amount of mitzvos as averos. Some of the Rishonim say, is that even possible? Rather, says Rav Hutner, the Beinonim is a person who he wavers. Sometimes he's striving for Kedusha, and sometimes not. And that's why the Rambam says, during the Seres Tshuva, during the time we're in right now, the best remedy to receive a favorable judgment is to do tshuva, to realign yourself with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to strive for more, to want more, to push yourself for more, to push yourself for Kedusha. I think this might be the answer to why the machzor is the way it is, and why maybe the focus on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is not necessarily about the pratim, the details. Yes, that's important too, but it's not the focus. The focus is more about taking a step back and seeing where we're heading, seeing what direction we're in, and seeing, making sure that we're heading towards Kedusha. We want to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We want to achieve a Yitnu L'cha Keter Melucha. And with this broader perspective, we should all be written into the book of life and to have a tremendous year. Amen.
זוכנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וחותמנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים.